Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to look at a new ink from Wearingeul. It is called Anne of the Green Gables, and this is kind of, I forget, is it part of their literacy line or whatnot, but this is based on a author, Lucy Maud Montgomery, and Anne of the Green Gables was a novel by the Canadian author written in 1908, more of a children's classic. So don't let the name fool you, because it looks like it definitely is more of a reddish hue than green. But yeah, this is definitely a new ink. I don't do red inks too much. They do have a place in my culture as well too for events and stuff, so it's nice to have something that I can, camera shaking, sorry about that, that I can have where I can write something out in red for events, New Year's, and things of that nature. And like with all the Wearing bottles, they're basically a nice square bottle with nice mouth opening at the top, so you can definitely get a lot of the larger nibs into there in regards to. And today we're going to be using one of my my titanium medium nib. This is a Bach number 8, so use that to kind of write out, give a basic writing sample of what this looks like. So it is a medium nib. So let's give this a whirl. Let's take a look. And this is Galen Leather's Everyday Book. It is using Tomoe River 52 GSM white paper. So definitely I bought a bunch of these before the new stock comes into play. I don't have access to the new stock just yet. Oops. This is taking a bit to open. That took some strength to get open. So you can see here, nice reddish hue. I don't see too much around the rim of the bottle just yet, but you know, that may come into play. So let's drop this down a little bit. So it's got a nice reddish hue if it's heavy, and then it kind of tapers into more of a pinkish color than anything else. So definitely, if you prefer the red, you may want to do a heavy application. And then if you're just using a pen that has a bit more of a dry nib, you're going to see it more as a pink hue coming into play. So we'll give that a run and let that sit there for a minute and see how that dries up. And then in the meantime, again, this is, give it a nice dip. So this is the Wearingeul's Anne of the Green Gables. So we'll have to see if there's some shading coming into play. It's hard to tell from this, so we'll give that a little bit of time. As I mentioned, this is by the author Lucy Maud Montgomery, Canadian author. Oops, O-R, not E-R, not Arthur as the name. And it's a children's classic. I believe written, if I remember correctly from my notes, written in 1908. So definitely, if you're interested, this reminds me of a little bit of the pink areas remind me of the Yamabudo from Pilot. Very, very light resemblance. Because as obviously it doesn't have too much in there. And as you can see here, you're starting to, let me cap that back up again before we have any problems. We're having some green I don't know if you can see it there, but around sheen around the edges. We're going to let that dry up a little bit more, and then while we're letting that dry up, so this is Tomoe River, and this is the coloring paper. So we'll give it a try on the coloring paper and see how that goes as well. See if there's a major difference into that. Again, heavier applications tend to be a little bit more red, and then the lighter application tends to be on more of the pinkish hue side. And we'll do a couple of big globs right there to see what's going on. And what did I do with my pen? And again, same thing, we'll write off. So this was the Wearingeul and of the green Gables. So we'll take a look at what that paper does with it. I am seeing a lot of the green shimmer coming in the writing, which is kind of nice. It definitely, for the application for a medium, is definitely coming through. The sheen is definitely there in green. I'll see if the camera can pick it up. Maybe a little bit hard. You can see in some of the pieces right there and up top. So you can see a lot of the green, and definitely coming in on the writing as well. So as you go into the writing, you'll be able to see some of the green on the A's there. You can see it on the A's as it comes in. You can see on the L's. You can see on the children. So it definitely has a nice green hue as it dries up around the borders. So it's a nice bit of green sheen to it. So yeah, definitely it's a nice color. You're going to want, at least from my preference, I'm going to want to do more of a heavy application. So a lot more of the green shows up with the writing versus just maybe a dry nib, which is going to be just straight pink. So yeah, again, heavy application, medium or higher nib. This might even be great with like a stub 1.1, or even higher if you really want to lay down a good amount of ink for it, just to get that nice one red, pinkish red, and then of course you might around the edges you want the sheen a little bit. So it's a good contrast, and then obviously the more the writing sits here, the more the sheen is showing up in the actual writing itself. So it's a nice mixture of green and red into there. So, but yeah, that's the Wearingeul's and of the Green Gables. Thanks very much for watching. Appreciate it. And everyone, have a nice day. And if you haven't liked or subscribed, I would really appreciate it. I just cracked 400, so I'm hoping to keep going up and up and up. And I'll continue to try to bring as many of these as I possibly can as time permits, and of course as budget allows. Thanks everybody. Bye.